Hey, Carol, want to watch some Netflix?
Oh, yeah, sounds good.
Cool. Oh, what about the Hunger Games?
I don't know. I mean, some of the things J-Law has said about race, like that time she talked about rubbing her butt on those indigenous ruins.
Right.
She's kind of a milkshake duck.
Okay, House of Cards?
Oof, boy. I mean, Kevin Spacey, he is having a pretty huge milkshake duck moment right now.
Okay, for real? What is a milkshake duck? What are you talking about?
Well, Anita, let me tell you. Originating in a 2016 tweet from user Pixelated Boat, the term milkshake duck has gained widespread usage to refer to times when a well-liked figure is revealed to have said or done something terrible.
Yeah, duh. These are complicated, confusing times to be a media lover with a conscience. Lately, it seems we can't go more than a few days without learning that some producer, director, actor, or musical artist has said or done some questionable or sometimes downright awful things. Each time another story like this breaks, it revives the ongoing, unresolved conversations about what we should do when we love someone's artistic output but despise their actions. I wish this could be one of those videos where someone helpfully tells you exactly the right way to handle a particular issue, but it's not. The truth is that I struggle with this dilemma constantly, and I don't think there's one right answer. It's more of a constantly evolving negotiation. And these negotiations matter because media really matters in our lives. It's not just some disposable thing. Art can change us. It can transform our sense of who we are, and we can develop a deep admiration not just for the work, but for the people who created it. So what I can offer is a few ways to think about this problem. Before we go any further, let's make it clear who we're talking about. This isn't about those celebrities who periodically say or do something that's garden variety problematic, like Tina Fey stuffing her face with sheet cake, or Lena Dunham saying something exclusionary and privileged about feminism. Of course, these instances deserve to be called out, and pressure should be put on these folks to be more mindful and do better in the future. But at the same time, you don't exactly need to lose sleep over your desire to binge watch the new season of Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. Sooner or later, a lot of the celebrities we admire are gonna say or do something offensive or oppressive because, and I know this is surprising, but celebrities are people too, and we all mess up. We just hope that they're good enough people to learn from their mistakes and be better. We can't live our lives agonizing over enjoyment of any media that someone flawed has had a hand in creating, or else we'd literally not be able to watch anything ever again. That doesn't mean that we can't decide for ourselves that certain celebrities have gone too far. Of course we can. If Jimmy Fallon ruffling Trump's hair was a deal breaker for you, that's totally fine and totally fair. I never really cared for the man to begin with. Personally, for years I've struggled with Whoopi Goldberg. I used to love her so much, and she's done so much important work. But now, every time I see her, I think about how she's defended noted racist and misogynist Mel Gibson, or said that Roman Polanski was not guilty of rape, whatever that means. But today we're focusing on those celebrities who have truly gone way beyond the pale. The Bill Cosbys, the James Tobacks, the R. Kellys, and the Woody Allens of the world. When we learn that someone who has created things we love has also engaged in some truly cruel, vile, damaging behavior, it changes our relationship with their work. What do we do then? I've struggled with this for years and have had a lot of conversations with friends about how they handle it too, so I wanted to share with you a few different perspectives. Number 1, death of the author. Some people take the death of the author approach. In a 1967 essay called, appropriately enough, The Death of the Author, Roland Barthes argues that art should be experienced with no regard for any aspect of the creator's identity, their politics, their religion, or any other personal attributes, because, he said, doing so limited the frame within which we might interpret and critique their work. Personally, this doesn't really work for me, especially with creators like Woody Allen or Louis C.K., whose personalities and lives are so intrinsic to the media they create. I can't unknow what I know about them, or unlearn what I've learned. It's kind of like when you go back and watch your favorite movies as a teen and realize they have a whole lot of sexism and racism in them. I can't unsee that now. If you wanted to play a fun game, you could do the complete opposite and really lean into your awareness of what the person has done. For example, go watch Manhattan, in which a 43-year-old Alan pairs himself up with a 17-year-old Mariel Hemingway. Follow that up with Husbands and Wives, in which a 56-year-old Alan flirts with a 19-year-old Juliette Lewis. And then get thoroughly creeped out and never watch a Woody Allen movie again because they just make you sick. Good times. Number 2, line in the sand. Another perspective some of my friends take is a kind of line in the sand approach. They treat the moment they find out about the artist's vile actions as the moment when everything changes. They allow themselves to continue enjoying the stuff they innocently fell in love with before they found out the artist was a scumbag. But as far as they're concerned, anything new the artist produces after that point doesn't exist. If the artist is already dead when you learn of their abuses, then I guess their whole back catalog is fair game. Now, I loved Bill Cosby's stand-up as much as anyone else, but there's no way I can ever go back and enjoy that again. And then, of course, there's the full-on personal boycott approach of avoiding the output of such creators altogether. That's a perfectly valid choice that might make you feel personally better, though let's not kid ourselves that it's an effective way to push for systemic change. Boycotts typically only have much effect if they're very large-scale and very organized. You deciding never to watch your DVD of Annie Hall again isn't exactly gonna hit Woody Allen where it hurts. However, one impactful thing you can do is to seek out films, books, comics, and music by women, queer folks, and people of color. Give them your money, spread the word about the amazing work they're doing, and help create a world where the term creative genius doesn't just conjure images of white men in some people's minds. These are systemic problems, and ultimately the change has to happen at the systemic level. So yeah, you boycotting Woody Allen's work won't do much, but if all the actors, producers, and other people who enable him to keep making movies collectively refuse to work with him, well, that's a different story. I mean, by this point, we all know Mel Gibson is a racist, misogynist scumbag, but the Hollywood system still decided it was cool to cast him in Daddy's Home 2? Seriously, what the f***? There needs to be consequences for that kind of behavior. Also, what the hell is Daddy's Home? Regardless of whatever choice you make in terms of how you engage with a particular piece of media, watch or don't watch, listen or don't listen, we should absolutely make a goddamn ruckus and collectively organize so perpetrators do not go unpunished. Change requires that creative industries, and in fact every industry, decides that the actions of abusers and predators are not to be ignored or covered up, that they need to be condemned no matter how profitable or beloved their work might be. If you like what we're doing with the FREQ Show, we need your help to keep making them, so please go to feministfrequency.com and donate today.